and thanks for joining me once again. Today's class will be just relatively gentle, mostly some lying down and some stretching for the hips and for the shoulders, a couple of back arches just because they're excellent to maintain the mobility of the spine. As always, remember to work at your own pace, listen to your body, and the golden rule of any yoga practice: if it hurts, don't do it. And of course, as always, if you have questions, please pop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And with that said, let's get started. So I want you to begin lying down on your back, and we're going to take Supta Baddha Konasana. So lying back with feet together and knees wide, and just place your hands either by your sides with the palms facing up, or you might prefer to have your hands resting lightly on the belly. And I just want you to close your eyes. Take a couple of slow, deep breaths. And just let your breath start to fill your attention, allowing other thoughts just to start to fade into the background. See if you can start to make your breath a little bit longer, especially the exhalations, but without any sense of force or stress. And see if there's anywhere in the body where you can let go of obvious tension, so especially around your eyes, your mouth, your jaw, and your shoulders. Just take another breath or two in Supta Baddha Konasana. And after your next out breath, bring your knees together. And with your knees together, place one hand on each knee. So you're only bringing the legs about halfway up towards the chest. And with your knees together, start to make little circles. So it's like the knees are circling over the hips. I just want you to feel the sacrum or your spine and pelvis come together, just making little circles on your mat. And just changing direction, go back the other way. And pay attention to the quality of your movement, making sure it's smooth and even all the way around the circle. And come gently back to the center. Bring your knees a little more tightly into the chest and just feel the tailbone lifting, but make sure that your lower spine stays flat. So you're just pulling the knees gently in towards the body and then letting them drop away. But we're not lifting and curling the lower spine. We're trying to keep the whole spine connected to the mat. And from here I want you to just come back to where you were with the knees over the hips. And you might like to go back to that circling we did with the hands holding the knees, but maybe take your hands out to the floor a little wider than your mat and see if you can start to make circles without the hands for assistance. Now the important thing here is that you keep your knees together and pay attention to keeping a smooth circular movement. And as always, try to keep your breath calm, both in and out through the nose. And if you feel a bit stronger, you can make those circles a bit bigger. But make sure there's no pain or discomfort in the lower back. And once again, change direction and circle back the other way. You might notice that one way is easier than the other. Although you're using the same muscles, they're firing in the reverse order. So you might find that there's much better control over one side than the other. So just do the best you can. Again, quality of the movement is your focus. Gently come back to hands on the knees and bring your knees a little more tightly into the chest. Take a little rock from side to side. So it feels like you're rolling across your kidneys. Then bring your right foot back to your mat. Place your left ankle on top of the right knee. And then reach your hands through to hold either the right thigh if you're quite tight in the hips, or the right shin if you can. And I want you to see if you can use your left elbow just to press your left knee a little further away from you so that the thigh is turning outwards in the hip. And then just see if you can gently bring the left shin and the right leg a little closer to the body. Again, trying to keep the spine flat. So we're not lifting the hips in order to get the leg into the chest, but rather just working with the hips and leaving the spine out of it. Remember, some effort is essential, but not force. If you can't breathe smoothly, you're doing too much. You're being too aggressive with the body. So just hold here for another couple of breaths. Perhaps letting the outer left hip relax a little bit more. And after breathing out once more, bring your right foot back to the mat, then release the left foot, and we'll do the same on the other side. So starting with the right ankle just above the left knee, take your hands either to the back of the left thigh or maybe through to the shin if you can. And again, see if you can use your right elbow perhaps against the inner right thigh just to turn that right knee away from the body. And you'll probably notice the two sides feel a little bit different. Remember, the body is rarely symmetrical, and every day it will be a little bit different based on what you've been doing with it. So be sensitive to the needs of the body. Again, some effort, but no force, no aggression. Each time you breathe out, see if you can let the leg just come a little bit closer into your body. You've got just a few more breaths here. After your next calm exhalation, you can just gently bring your left foot back to the mat, bring the right foot back to the mat. Then take your arms out to the sides, making cactus arms. So just like one of the big saguaro cacti, have your forearms parallel, upper arms in line. And keeping your feet flat and hip width, just gently let your knees rock from side to side. So it's a really simple twist. It doesn't matter if the legs don't reach the floor or the mat. Ideally the outer leg will, but the inner leg generally won't. But this, again, it's a fairly soft movement. Just letting the body go to where it feels comfortable, not holding or forcing anything. And if you want to go a little bit further, bring your knees up to your chest and keeping the knees together. See if you can rock side to side. Don't know if you heard my back releasing there. I find this movement's excellent for releasing my spine. Maybe it is for yours too. Come back to the center. And just bring your feet back hip width apart. And stretch your arms out past your head. Try to press the backs of your hands gently down. And we'll take a couple of raising and lowering in and out of first bridge. So as you inhale, see if you can lift the hips up, making sure the feet stay flat and parallel. And as you exhale, just lower your hips down. repeat that movement at your own pace. So lift the hips as you breathe in. Try to keep hips, knees and feet in line. Smoothly lower down as you breathe out. So again, paying attention to the quality of movement, trying to keep it nice and steady, nice and consistent. Just lowering down one more time. Have a little rest there. You might like to stay still, or you might like to give the hips a little shuffle or the knees a little rock, whatever feels better for your body. Now take your hands down by your sides again. We're going to move into second bridge. So press down through your feet, lift your hips up and take your hands to interlace behind the back. If you can, have the heels of the hands together and your hands on the mat. If you're tight in the shoulders, you might need to have the hands a bit higher and separated, but ideally together and on the mat. And then see if you can just rock gently side to side and shuffle your shoulder blades a little closer to each other. You should get a nice stretch for the back of the neck here and also for the front of the shoulders. And again, be conscious of keeping your feet flat and parallel, knees squeezing gently inwards to stay in line with hips and feet. Just hold here for one or two more slow breaths. Try to have a sense of lifting your collarbones up towards the chin. After your next out breath, just gently release the hands, lower your body down and have a little rest again. So a couple of nice relaxed abdominal breaths. And after breathing out once more there, lift your hips again. Come back to second bridge, but this time interlace with the opposite thumb on top. So it'll be one that feels a bit strange. See if you can lift up a little bit higher. And it's plenty to stay there, but if you're a bit more enthusiastic, bring your feet together, keep your knees together, and see if you can straighten the right leg. So we're trying to press down nice and evenly through the sole of the left foot without separating the knees or dropping the hips. And after your next out breath, just swap and do the same on the other side. So trying to keep the hips up, the knees squeezing against each other. So no little cheats, no stacking the knees or separating. Take one more breath here, and then if the left leg was up, lower it down. Bring the feet back to hip width. Everyone take one more breath, and then just lower down. And have a little rest. Again, you can have your hands by your sides or on the belly. And after breathing out once more here, lift back up into first or second bridge, or if you can easily do so, bring your hands, heels of the hands under the sacrum, fingers and thumbs to the outside, and make your way into third bridge. So if you haven't got the height, or if this doesn't feel comfortable, just stay in second bridge. Try to keep the chin into the throat, so you're still lengthening and gently stretching the back of the neck. And just give yourself a last breath or two here. And after breathing out once more, gently release your hands and again lower your body all the way down. And particularly if you've been in third bridge, give your wrists a little bit of a stretch, so making a gentle fist, roll the shoulders in. You might like to just stay resting. If you're going to do that, maybe take your feet wide and let the knees drop together. But those who'd like to, we can take one back arch. So if you're comfortable, take the hands either side of your ears, lift your hips up. Try to keep the feet flat, squeeze the elbows in, and press up into Urdhva dhanurasana, the upturned bow. Now, I like to lift my heels for a moment there and then drop them back down, but that's not essential. Try to think of lifting up and lengthening the front of your body
And if you can, bring the arch into the chest, shoulders and upper back by working towards straightening your legs. Try to feel a stretch in the stomach. Maybe give your head a little roll side to side. Take one more breath here. And then gently lower all the way back down to your mat. And again, give the wrists a stretch if you've been in third bridge or the arch. Once you've done that, stretch your right leg out along your mat and hug the left knee in towards the chest, so just as tightly as feels comfortable for you. And once you've held the leg in towards the body for a couple of breaths, make sure your right calf stays pressing down, but if it's okay for you, come into a little half sit-up position. If you're not doing strong stomach work, you can just stay with the head lying down on the mat. And if you're comfortable there without the body dropping down, reach your arms out and stretch to your fingers. And either choose to stay there, or if you can, see if you can touch the left knee to the shoulder without using your hands. And then gently lie back down, stretch the left leg out and hug the right leg into the body. So the same on the other side. So a couple of breaths, just pulling the right knee gently in towards the chest. Then if you did first side, again lift the head and shoulders, keep the chin to the throat, coming into that half sit up. Again, keep your left calf pressing down. Either stay there or without the body dropping, reach the arms forward and maybe sit up a little bit higher. And then if you can, perhaps try and touch the shoulder and knee together without using your hands. And after one more breath, gently lie back down, stretch the right leg out. And rest there for a couple of breaths. Now bring both knees into the body. So again, just keeping the lower back flat, so not lifting up. Make sure you can still feel the top of your hips gently pressing or into the mat or connected to the mat. And then if you're doing stomach work, come into a little half sit up again. If you want to go a bit further, bring your toes to the mat, bending your elbows, sit up a little bit higher. And then if you're still comfortable, release the hands without the body dropping down. And if you want to go further still, straighten your legs out to about 45 degrees away from the mat. And if you're still comfortable, bring your hands to interlace loosely behind your head. And just take one more breath here. It's not quite as easy as it looks. Bring the knees back into the body and take your head back to the mat. And just rest there, hands loosely around the shins for a couple of breaths. And then stretch your right leg out once more along the mat. With your left leg hugged in and maybe using a strap if you need to, take hold of your left foot or ankle and just see if you can straighten your left leg. So if it doesn't go straight, that's okay. You might find if you're not using a strap, you have to stay 80% straight or 70%, that's fine. If you're using a strap to make your arms longer, you can of course straighten the leg all the way. And just hang out here for a little bit. I want you to make sure that the right calf stays connected to the mat. And as the left leg starts to relax, just gently bring it a little bit closer to the body, but watch the tendency of the knee to bend. So we want to try and keep the legs straight if we've got to a straight position. If the leg isn't straight yet, there's no point pulling it further in towards the body. So I just want you to give your hamstring, the back of the left leg, time to relax. Use the sensation that you feel in the back of your left leg just to help bring your mind back to the present and to try and maintain an inner focus, paying attention to what's happening within the body and mind rather than outwardly focused. And just give yourself 1 or 2 more breaths here, nice and relaxed. And after breathing out once more, just bend your left leg, stretch it out along the mat. And do the same on the other side. So bring the right leg in towards your body. And then take hold of the right foot or ankle, using a strap maybe. And work towards a straight leg. Of course, straightening it if you're using a strap. Again, note the 2 sides probably aren't the same. It's neither a good nor a bad thing, it's just a thing. But you are getting to know your body in your practice. Getting to understand all its little intricacies, all its subtleties. Keep the left calf pressing down, and a sense of lengthening out along the back of the right leg, all the way from the sit bone right out to the heel. We've just got a few more breaths here. Try to gently relax wherever you feel the most resistance in the back of the right leg. And after your next calm exhalation, again just gently bend the right knee. Stretch the right leg out. And take your arms over your head, lengthening all the way out to your fingertips. And bring your knees up to your body, roll onto your side, and come to a sitting position, cross-legged. You might just take a little stretch for the front of the shoulders here, so a little bit like we did in the arches. I want you to take your hands back behind you. Try to have the little fingers together on the mat. Pull your shoulders back and try to lift the collarbones forward and up. So you feel a stretch across the front of the shoulders and chest. If it feels okay, you might like to raise the chin and stretch your throat as well. And then bring the chin gently back down. Releasing your hands, reach them up high, stretching into your fingertips. Then take your right hand down by your side and take your left arm up and over past your head. You haven't done any side stretches, so it might be nice to take a gentle one here. Just try to lift the left side body and reach out into your fingertips. Try to pull the left elbow back so the arm, shoulder, hips are all in one plane. And after breathing out once more, gently sit all the way back up. Bring your right hand in towards the body, but keep your palm flat. Then take your left elbow to bend. Bring your hand onto your right ear and just see if you can lift the right ear up, but at the same time press your right hand down. And just experiment with moving your chin up and down a little bit, and see if you can find where you need the most stretch in the right side of the neck. So remember, it should feel like you're lifting the right ear, not dropping the left. Just give yourself one more gentle breath here. And after you breathe out, again straighten the left arm up, lift up through the crown of your head. Then raise the right arm,
Stretch up into both hands. And then we'll take the same on the other side. So bring the left hand down, take your right arm up and over past your head. Try to lengthen all the way from your sit bone out through to the fingertips. Pull the right elbow gently back and try to feel like you're still reaching out through the crown of your head. So the head's not just hanging down, but rather there's a sense of reaching out through the neck and the head. Give yourself a last breath or two here. And after exhaling there once more, sit all the way back up. Slide your left hand in by your side. Bend your right elbow and take your right hand to your left ear. Then see if you can lift your left ear up, but press your left hand down. So it's like you're lengthening from the wrist all the way to your ear. And again, experiment just with subtle changes to your chin position to find where you get the best release. And you'll probably find the two sides are a bit different. Just one or two more breaths here. I'm particularly tight on this side today. And then just gently release the arm up, the head up. So we're lifting and lengthening first. Bring the left arm up now, and then interlacing your fingers, press up through the palms. Take another breath there, pull the elbows back. And then take your hands down by your sides. And if you're not doing stomach work, stay here. Otherwise, press down through your hands. Lift your hips up. We'll keep the feet down. And we're just going to take 5 rhythmic abdominal breaths here. And if you can, for a breath, pick up the feet as well. And lower your body gently down. And make your way into a comfortable sitting position just for a couple of minutes of simple pranayama, simple breathing. So pranayama can either be interpreted as restraining of the breath, or restriction of the breath, or extension of the life force. I actually believe that you have both things happening at once. So settle the body. Try to have your shoulders dropping down and back. Close your eyes. Gently press the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth. And take your inner focus into the eyebrow center, Ajna chakra. We're just going to take simple Ujjayi breath, the balance of inhalation and exhalation. So in preparation, take a deep breath in. See if you can lift the crown of the head a little bit higher, but with a sense of the sit bones anchored down. And then gently breathe out all the way, emptying the breath from the lungs. With a 10-second rhythm, slowly breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and slowly out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Breathe in and count to yourself now, shortening the rhythm if 10 seconds feels uncomfortable in any way. You can of course stretch the rhythm out if you have a longer breath cycle, but never force your breath. Maintain a steady, even quality to the inhalation and exhalation from the beginning through the middle to the very end. Use the breath to cultivate a single-pointed inner focus, an inner dharana, allowing the mind to simply merge with the breath to the exclusion of all other thoughts. And whenever you do notice your attention has drifted off, don't get frustrated, but simply recognize what it was that distracted you, and then come back to the rhythm of your breathing. And see if you can maintain that single-pointed inner focus on your breath just for the last minute or so here. Without rushing, just finish the cycle you're on, completing it in your own time. And once you've finished the exhalation, just allow your breathing to settle back into its own rhythm. So you're maintaining awareness but removing involvement. And just see if you can watch the breath without getting caught up in it. In the same way that you watch the breath come and go, see if you can watch thoughts coming and going. Without your involvement, each thought will simply pass through your awareness. It's only when we get involved that they tend to linger. See if you can rest as the observer. Simple awareness. Start to once more deepen your breath a little. Choosing just to consciously lengthen your breath, to reconnect with that inner movement. And then gently stretch your arms up past your head, lengthening all the way through the spine and into the hands. Take another breath in, reaching all the way up into the fingertips. And as you exhale, bring the hands to the crown, to the brow, to the throat, and to the heart. And just rest with your awareness in the heart space. And then gently release the spine forward one last time. And sit back up. Namaste. Thank you once again for sharing the practice with me and allowing me to share it with you. And any questions, let me know, and I look forward to sharing with you again soon. Thanks very much. Until next time.